Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day. Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Wood, and today we're going to be learning all about rhinoceroses, the chubby unicorns of the African savanna. But before we get into the facts, let's warm up our brains with a little challenge to see if you can tell fact from fiction. Consider this. There's a long-standing legend popularized by movies like The Gods Must Be Crazy that says rhinos are the firefighters of the wild. The story goes that if a rhino sees a small fire like a campfire or a bushfire, its natural instinct is to rush toward it and stomp it out to protect its territory. What do you think? It sounds heroic, but is this behavior actually documented in science? We'll find out at the end of the episode. Now for your word of the day. Our word for today is crash. That's C-R-A-S-H. While we might usually use this word to describe a computer freezing, a collision, or a breakdown, in the world of zoology, a crash is the collective noun used to describe a group of rhinos. Just like you have a herd of cows or a pride of lions, if you see a family of rhinos traveling together, you're looking at a crash. The etymology or origin of the term is likely derived from the force and impact these animals possess. Considering that rhinos can weigh tons and have a tendency to charge through thick brush with incredible power, the word crash feels appropriate. It paints a vivid picture of the noise and energy that a group of these heavy giants would create as they move through their habitat. Time for your daily high five, our top 5 fun facts about rhinos. Number 1, a rhino's horn isn't made of bone. It's actually made of the same stuff as your fingernails. That horn looks rock hard and dangerous, and it is pretty hard and dangerous, but it's composed almost entirely of keratin. That's the exact same protein found in human hair and fingernails. Unlike the horns of cows or sheep, which have a bony core covered in a sheath, the rhino horn is solid keratin all the way through, with deposits of calcium and melanin in the center to make it stronger and protect it from the sun. Because it's made of keratin, the horn grows continuously throughout the rhino's life, just like your hair and fingernails. If a rhino breaks its horn, it actually grows back over time. And here's a little bonus fact about the rhino's horn. That interesting curved shape we usually see is actually sculpted by the rhino itself. As they rub their horns on the ground or trees and use them for foraging, they wear down the outer layers into that sharp point. Number 2. Rhinos have short, stubby legs, but they are shockingly fast. It's easy to look at a rhino with its short legs and massive, blocky body and assume it must be slow and lumbering. But a black rhino can reach top speeds of up to 34 miles per hour, or 55 kilometers an hour. For comparison, the fastest human speed ever recorded was Usain Bolt, who clocked in at 27.8 miles an hour. So it's safe to say you could never beat a rhino in a foot race. What makes it even more impressive and frankly terrifying is their acceleration. They can go from a standstill to top speed in just a few strides. They're essentially the biological equivalent of sports cars in the body of an armored truck, capable of making sharp turns and maneuvering through the bush with surprising agility, given that they can weigh over 3,000 pounds. Number 3. The white rhino isn't actually white. Its name was mistranslated and it just stuck. There are 2 main species of rhino in Africa, the black rhino and the white rhino. But if you look at them side by side, they're both essentially the same color, gray. The difference is actually more about the shape of their mouth. The name white rhino is believed to be just a corruption or mistranslation of the Afrikaans word wide, W-Y-D, which means wide. Early Dutch settlers in South Africa referred to the animal as the wide rhino because it has a distinctive wide, flat lip used for grazing on grass, unlike the black rhino, which has a hooked, pointed lip for pulling leaves off branches. English speakers misheard wide as white, and the name stuck. If you're wondering how the other species of African rhino got the name black rhino, even though it's gray, that was basically just people doubling down on the mistake and choosing another color name to differentiate it from the white rhino. Number 4. Rhinoceroses have a thick skin, but it's surprisingly sensitive to the sun. A rhino's skin can be up to 2 inches or 5 centimeters thick. It's formed from layers of collagen and a lattice structure that makes it incredibly tough. It's basically like a natural armor protecting them from sharp thorns, thick brush, and clashes with other animals as they navigate the wild. But despite its strength and thickness, their skin is actually quite sensitive to a sunburn or insect bites because the blood vessels are close to the surface. This is why you'll almost always see rhinos rolling around in the mud. After they take a nice mud bath, the mud dries on their skin to form a protective layer that acts as both a natural high SPF sunscreen and a bug repellent to keep biting flies away. And our 5th and final fun fact for today: rhinos communicate using deep sounds that humans can't hear. While we might hear rhinos making huffing, snorting, and even squeaking sounds, yes, baby rhinos squeak, a lot of their communication, though, happens in infrasound. These are frequencies that are below the range of human hearing, similar to the deep rumbles used by elephants. This sort of secret channel for communication allows rhinos to send messages through the ground and air over vast distances. In dense forests or wide savannas, their visibility is poor. These low-frequency sounds can travel for miles, though, and that allows rhinos to find mates or warn each other of danger without alerting predators or humans nearby. Now for some news you can use. Rhinos have a literal thick skin to protect them, and we can apply that metaphorically to our own lives by building a filter for feedback we receive. Psychologists call this cognitive reappraisal. It means changing the way you interpret a comment to change how it makes you feel. The first thing to do is sort your feedback into 2 piles: constructive and destructive. Constructive feedback aims to help you grow. It might point out a flaw or mistake, and naturally, that might sting for a moment. But like a rhino using a tree to sculpt its horn, you should let that feedback sink in and use it to sharpen your skills for the future. Then there's that other category, destructive criticism. I'm talking about comments that are just mean or insulting. Philosophers and psychologists agree that mean and destructive behavior is usually a reflection of the aggressor's faults and insecurities, not yours. There's a famous quote by Eric Hoffer that says, quote, "Rudeness is the weak man's imitation of strength." When you hear mean-spirited comments, remember they're often a sign of that person's weakness. So let your thick skin block those out completely. By filtering out the mean stuff and absorbing the helpful, you'll become better, stronger, and more resilient. Now for the moment you've been waiting for. At the beginning of the episode, I asked, do rhinos really instinctively stomp out campfires? Well, that's a fallacy. While it makes for a great story in movies and folklore, there's no scientific evidence that rhinos instinctively extinguish fires. In fact, like almost every other wild animal, rhinos are naturally afraid of fire and will run away from it to get to safety. The myth likely started in Southeast Asia regarding the Sumatran rhino. In countries like Malaysia, Burma, and India, folklore told of a legendary creature known as the Badak Api, or fire rhino. It was believed to inhabit the forests, and this mythical beast was said to be instinctively drawn to the scent of smoke, rushing toward campfires to systematically trample and devour the flames. Early European settlers brought these local legends back from Asia, and over time, the story was mistakenly attributed to African rhino species through popular media. The truth is, if you light a campfire near a rhino, their only instinct will be to leave you alone, not to put it out. Now, I hope you enjoyed learning a bit about rhinos with me today, and be sure to tune in every weekday for even more fun facts. Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by me, Kyle Wood. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with me. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.